I got one here. Judge rejects effort by Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson to get records from the Catholic Church. A Washington state judge said Friday the Attorney General Bob Ferguson is not entitled to enforce a subpoena seeking decades of records from the Seattle Archdiocese, despite its assertion that the records are needed to learn whether the Catholic Church used charitable trust funds to cover up sexual abuse by priests. Judge Michael Scott sided with the Archdiocese, which argued that under the state's law governing charitable trusts, Ferguson did not have authority to enforce the subpoena. The law contains an exemption designed to ensure that the states do not meddle in religious practices.
So religious practices are sexually assaulting kids?
Said it before, yes.
You know what? I mean, and it's deeper than that. I know you said this before. This is a truth.
I've talked about this many times, yes.
Yeah, he has brought this up, and it's a fact that he's talked about this in depth. What I do feel at the same time, too, this is more of a power thing. It has a lot more to do with who it is. Like, we got to understand the Catholic Church is probably one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest entity in the world right now.
The Catholic Church is basically just the Roman Empire restructured. That's all it is. But the whole thing is, like I'm saying, I'm like, how much? Look, he tried. I see. That's what I brought it up. My statement last time. Who's in power? Who has the power?
Money.
Exactly.
Money has the power.
When someone tries to hold them accountable and a judge shoots it down and we act like everything's all hunky dory.
We act like that judge. I mean, you got to look at, is he appointed? You know, is he voted in? Does he have to run every few years? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he has a great, I mean, he's look into what he owns. Look into what he gets later on down the line.
Look at who's donating to him.
Exactly. How did he get appointed to this case?
I'm saying America's
religious background.
Check it out. America is really bogged right now by Israel and a pedophile ring here in this country that is underlining and we are not talking about. Yep. Something bad is going on. Think about it. Hollywood. No one in Hollywood has ever been touched. People have given names.
Yep.
What was his name? The one big black dude that was in Third Friday.
Terry Crew.
He played Terry Crew. Terry Crew got sexually assaulted by one of the dudes that does it to people, and they did nothing to him.
I'm like, man, Terry Crew, man.
Terry Crew said, Eddie Griffin said the same thing. Eddie Griffin was like, look, this dude grabbed my dick, and I slapped the shit out of him. And he said, you'll never work in this town again. He's like, I never did. Terry Crew, the same dude, grabbed his dick, sexually assaulted him. And Terry Crew said, I could beat this guy up, but if I do, I'll never work in this town again.
At the end of the day, man, it's like, we know what's going on here. They really came out with a piece of it. People have been talking about this for years. The Corey,
the Feldman,
he came out with this.
He said names,
and then at the same time, who was that? Barbara Walters was like, why would you want to tear everyone down with this? She knew, like, you know about. You've been in this business for a long time. You were like attacking him for wanting to tell the truth.
Yeah,
you know, like, hey, if these people are assaulting young kids, man, if these people are like raping young kids or even or sexualizing young kids, they should be outed. This is what it is. Why not? What are we hiding? Why was there such thing as Epstein Island? Why do we have that going on? Why do we have someone who's basically steps away from the White House? All of a sudden, a couple days ago, they come out with his Epstein papers. Now all of a sudden, he's almost assassinated. You know, I don't know. Maybe
the assassin was one of the parents.
Or
it could have been like I'm saying. It could be a whole bunch of things. How can 500 some odd or 5,000 some odd children, immigrants, come from Mexico, get taken from their parents and just lost in America? We know where those children are. Shoot, they had one time where I think it was Illinois. They busted this house where they were like they were selling sex trafficking children, and the police were in the back because the police were part of it.
Really?
Yes, it was in the paper, but we just ignore it because it just goes right by. There's something underlining going on in this country where the people of power are fucking little kids, and we're just letting it slide. And all the people that are in power are just letting it go. So, I mean, I
get you, man.
Yeah.